Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the National Timely Action Hour. This is the show where we talk about everything from Star Wars to comic books and everything in between. My name is Aiden, and I hope that you're doing well today. In this video, I want to do an unboxing and review of the Diamond Select, Marvel Select, Iron Man Model 8 Silver Centurion. I bought this a few months ago and have been waiting to do a review, but I had some other videos on the slate that I needed to get out first. So now we're finally getting into this, so I do apologize that it's taken me so long since purchasing this. But like I said, you know, if I hadn't already had those other videos planned, I would have done this one sooner. But this is a really cool figure. It has credits designed by Yuri Tsming and sculpted by Gentle Giant Studios, so shout out to them. And here on the back we have a read up of the character, so if you want to pause and read that, go ahead. But here's the side, the bubble, warning, choking hazard, small parts not for children under the age of 3 years, so parents, please be aware of that. But this is really cool. Now let's get this bad boy open. I can tell right away that this is going to be a really cool figure. So here we have the figure and all of his accessories. We have alternate hands, we have blasting effects, we have a flight stand, and we have a couple of alternate heads. So yeah, this is really cool. Now let's just cut these little bindings off. So with the figure just out of the packaging, we have the flight blasting effects already attached to the peg holes. So I'll just remove those for the time being. I might do some fidgeting with this later, but I really like how this comes together. The sculpting on this looks very good. And as you know, we got to do the articulation, but before we do that, let's just take a moment to appreciate how beautiful this toy is. Now, the Model 8 has got to be my second favorite Iron Man armor. My all-time favorite would be the Model 1, because I just think it's iconic, and you know, since his name is Iron Man and that's actually made out of iron, it makes more sense. But you know, this is silver, and I believe, yeah, I think it's like a special silver mesh that Tony Stark made. But yeah, let's go over the articulation. So the shoulder pads do hinder it slightly, but you can, oh yeah, no, you can't move. You can only have the bicep swivel and the forearm swivel and the ankle swivel and the wrist swivel, excuse me. But also can't really move his legs except for like flight poses. But I do really like how, even though it's not functional, I like the look of this, which is partly why I wanted to get it. And single jointed knees. There is an ankle swivel, so you can point his feet up and down, and no actual turning, but you can turn his head 360 degrees, look down, look up, and yeah, that is basically all you got for the articulation. Also, there's a cut at the thigh, so you can do that. But yeah, it's not the best articulation, I will give you that, but the main reason why people would want this is for posability. And there's also the waist cut. Now it looks like there's an ab crunch, but it actually does not move, so that's just stationary, which is a bit of a drag. But yeah, wrist swivel, and he can do that. But yeah. So the other things we get is, so we get a stand for the flight hook, and we also get, let's take a look at the alternate heads, because those are cool. So the one that came attached in the box is the battle mode. But next, let's look at the regular helmet. It's a bit of a chore to get on, but yeah, there he is. Really cool. And then there's the Tony Stark head. So there he is. Took a break from his scotch to grace us with his glorious mullet, because it was the 80s, everyone had a mullet. And in the comics he has a mustache. The Van Dyke beard is from the movies. But I'm wondering, can the, like, so this pack helps with the propulsion, like gives him a boost when he's flying. So does this open up, or like, if it looks like there are moving parts, but I don't really want to mess with it, so I'll just leave that. But alrighty, there he is. Looking cool, looking cool. But the other hands that we get are a, relaxed hand, and then we get like a sort of gripping or clawing hand. We get a unibeam blast for his arc reactor in his chest plate, and then we get the hands blasting out, and then we get the fists in action. So let's use the scissors here to cut out one of these blasting hands. So it is a bit warped. You'd have to put it in hot water to set it at a normal, set it back to normal. But let's just pop the fisted hand that came with the inbox. Okay, yeah, so it's going to be easier to, you can remove the blasting effect so that you can put the hand in without going crazy on the warpage. There's a bit of plastic not taken off. Okay. Well, and then we'll take out one of the other hands that has the other punching effect. So this is the first Diamond Selects toy that I've bought, but I'm not particularly impressed with how the functionality of this has panned out. I mean, I like the variety of the accessories. Oh, also I forgot that he can do the splits in the articulation portion, but back to my rant here. I'm not particularly impressed with how this is not as functional as I would like. Now, this isn't per se a toy for children, but it's still an action figure, so you would expect there to be, you know, a lot of, you know, child-friendly sculpting. And oh, you can remove the pack, but anyway. Now, granted, this is mainly for adult collectors, but still, you know, I like to play with the action figures that I buy. That's the whole reason I have them. But I review them so that I can say, I recommend that you buy this, or I recommend that you do not buy this. Now, this has got to be the first time on my show where I've had to recommend that you not buy something unless, this is the caveat, unless you just want to have him posed. Which, if you want to have him just being, you know, in a display area with your other figurines, that's one thing. But if you're like me and you have it on display but then you want to play with it, then that's an entirely different beast. So for that, I would have to say this is not worth the money that I spent. And I believe I bought this on Amazon for $40 Canadian. So I am regretting this decision, which is, you know, something that I say with a heavy heart, because I normally would expect something of that price range to be a quality product, and in some ways this is, but for the main purposes that I bought it for, I would have to give this a 4 out of 10. The 4 points that I do give it go directly to the presentation, but the points that I knocked off are obviously for functionality and playability. So this is entirely your decision, but feel free to disagree with me in the comments. And while you're down there, suggest any future videos you'd like to see, and tell me your thoughts about this figure if you've bought it. And also, while you're in that area, smash the like button if you enjoy it. Smash the dislike button if you didn't like it. and subscribe if you're new to this channel and want to check out more action figure content or comic book related content, and ring the bell to be notified when I post new videos, and share it with your friends if they're interested in this sort of content. And in the description I will leave the links to my social media profiles. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. And you can also find the links to my podcast where I post weekly. And you'll also find the links to my merch store. So if you'd like to buy a shirt or a coffee mug with my channel's logo on it, please click the link there. And I'll also leave the link to my Patreon page. So if you'd like to become a donor to this show, and you can make a one-time donation or a monthly subscription. The lowest tier is $3 Canadian per month, or just a one-time donation. The second tier is $10. The third tier is $25. Regardless of which sort of donation or subscription you want to have, you get a slew of benefits like early access to videos and episodes of the podcast, exclusive content, access to my original writing projects. You can also vote on specific polls and request specific content that only appears on Patreon. But thank you so much for your support. That means a lot to me. I've been doing this since 2017 and it's 2025 now. We are very close to getting to 200 subscribers. I know I post sporadically, but I am hindered by whether I have time in the day to record, or if there can be background noise that I can't really edit out. So I do apologize about that, but I am trying to improve. And before we wrap this up, I just want to do two more things. I want to check out how the repulsor attaches to the Curious, and then after that I want to do the size comparison and see how this measures up to other figurines that I have. So this blasting effect, you just have to remove the arc reactor from the chest. Whoa. Be careful. There's a hexagon shape that just pops in. Alright, that does fit on very nicely and it stays on snugly. So, but yeah, so let's cut back to my desk and see how this measures. So here we have him standing next to the Marvel Legends Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest Model 1 Iron Man and the old Mattel DC Direct Superman. So standing up with these two, he does look good. The figure is a bit taller than the other two, and that is fine because the scaling is different for these other companies and these different lines. But then let's have him standing next to the McFarlane Toys DC Direct Reign of the Superman, and well, they are actually quite comparable because there we go. The Superman figure is taller than Iron Man here, and I'm having trouble having him standing up, which sucks. But then let's have him next to the Hasbro Star Wars The Black Series Luke Skywalker. This is him training on Dagobah. And as you can imagine, since it's the different scaling, a lot bigger. But let's have him next to the Chewbacca from Black Series. Now Chewbacca is the biggest figure in that line, and he does tower above Iron Man here, which does make sense. And finally, let's finish off this portion of the video with the Marvel Legends Fantastic Four, the animated series, Mr. Fantastic. Now, again, different scaling, but Mr. Fantastic, even though he's shorter, can stretch out, and that's fine by me. But taking a closer look at this figure, like I said, I'd have to give this a 4 out of 10. Mainly for the presentation and the accessories, they are top-notch. But in terms of functionality and playability, I do have to knock off the rest of those points, because unfortunately this fails to meet my expectations. But I do like the look of it. It is a gorgeous figure. The paint is fantastic. The sculpting is very good, and the design is impeccable. But not my favorite figure, sadly, but it is definitely a good looking one. And on that note, thank you so much for watching this video, and I sincerely hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.